Yo, what is up, everyone? It's good to see you all. Hunter, what's up, bro? Faker, good to see you. Aaron, always a pleasure, bro. Jillian, good to see you. Django, how's it going, brother? Andrew Cameron, great to see you, man. Cubanadian, what's up, bro? All right. My sound's echoing. Okay. All right, there we go. Should be better. Okay. Oh, it isn't echoing. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, welcome in, everybody. I haven't looked at these charts since this morning, so let's figure it out together here. So we got our, oh, let me put that back actually. So we got our pullback. So on the stream last night, we were talking about possibility of getting this mitigation move. We were looking for it to come down to the decision block, possibly the 1 hour order block here. It looks like we got, so again, the clue was this 1 hour close before here. This morning, I got a little tunnel vision myself on the 5 minute. But the plan we made last night was if the 1 hour closes below 118,600, then we should expect to push down to mitigate the range, which is what happened. So if anyone was following the plan from last night, that's great. It worked out there. As Hunter pointed out in the Discord here, it's not on my side, right? No, I think that's on your side, man. Yeah, as Hunter pointed out in the Discord here, I mean, Cipher Matrix just nailed both sides of this move. It was really, really fantastic here. And I mean, as we're in a range, remember, you can just trade these extension bands, right? Like, you can just be ripping this range apart using taking it from the upper band to the lower band. Remember, your job as a trader is to come to the charts and determine whether the market is ranging or the market is trending, right? If the market's ranging, well, then you just want to rip the extremes of the range apart, right? You want to sell overbought, buy oversold. Now, let's take a look at some more TA here. All right, let's start on the daily. Let's do a real top down here. We haven't done a top down in a minute. Let's start on our weekly here. Nothing's really changed on the weekly since the weekly close. One level that I would mark is your weekly open here at 117,350. Or sorry, not your weekly open, your last week's open. Okay. Let's go to your daily here. So we didn't bearish engulf today. That's good. Let's look at Heiken Ashi here. Still closed green yesterday. Indecision. Still cooling off. So if this was our spring here, then we would be expecting a move up after this test here. Let me put an anchored VWAP on this candle here. I'm going to stop the music here. Okay. Turn it down. Okay. Let's see. So if you put a VWAP on the low there, we would expect this to be where we would get our first bounce. It looks like we came into that level, didn't quite get it. Maybe we can get a liquidity sweep into that level. Let's go to our 12 hour here. So we did on our 12 hour. So we're bouncing right from that anchored VWAP, which is where we would expect to bounce on our mitigation here whenever you do have a low, right? Like whenever we were back here in the daily range. Let's get this out of here. Whenever we were back here in the daily range, we were looking for where we were going to bounce. If we take our anchored VWAP from our low here, right, you'll notice that that's exactly where we bounced for that first retracement bounce, right? We came down to that anchored VWAP, and you'll see that over and over again from the lows, right? So if we put one from this low here, you'll notice that's where we got our first bounce, notice. So that's a very helpful tool for determining where your first level of support is going to be. So similarly, if we place one on our low here, we're bouncing off that level now, which is good. Let's see. Let's look at our 8 hour here. So we do have an order block down here on the 6 hour as well, around like 116.6. But so I would put this anchored view up on your chart. As long as this is holding, we don't need to go lower. This works for mitigation here. As DDT was pointing out in the Discord, a lot of times you do have like the Monday being the low for the week if we do start trading above that Monday range. Let's look at our 4 hour. Coming back to test kind of the lows of the regression brand, we hit our first liquidity target at 119.6. The next two targets are going to be at 120, and then at that 121 level we're looking for as well. We still haven't came back to the 50% of the range level, so I would just expect this to be a pullback for a higher high. Let's look at our 3 hour here. Did we tap that weekly open? No. 3 hour bounce from our deviation band here to 200 EMA. Man, I like that low on the 3 hour. Wait, where did my indicator just go? Hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay. Let's look at our 2 hour. So 2 hours got the MACD curving back to the upside now. Let's make this a little bit smaller. I can't see. So we got our 2 hour sell signal. We're trying to bottom out. We're bouncing off of our 4 hour order block here. And nice reaction there. One thing to be advised of, like I said, like similar with on the 6 hour, we do also have a 4 hour order block down here. That would involve losing the VWAP from the low though, so I wouldn't necessarily, I mean, if we come down there, it would be a good long, but I don't think we necessarily have to come down there at this point. We may be able to get enough bounce off of the 4 hour order block we're tapping now. Okay. Nice buy on our 30-minute here. I'd watch these EMAs for a bearish cross on the 30-minute. Right now, it looks like we're fighting to save the 30-minute right here. Let's see, did we have a 20-minute break of structure here? No, we don't have any structure in there. So we have our 15-minute high. So let's get our indicators out of here for now. So we have our 15-minute high sitting here at 118.458. So we SFP'd that high here, came back down to the order block, trying to bounce now. I would set an alert on that for a 15-minute break of structure. Or sorry. Oh, we didn't actually take that high. My apologies here. So that high is going to be at 118.541. So we're going to set an alert there for 15-minute break of structure. If we do break structure here, you would be looking for the same thing that we're always looking for, right? You're going to look for range, initiation, mitigation, continuation. Trying to get in somewhere in the range, like you can come down like here, right? Wherever we consolidate at the top of the range. All right. Let's look at our gold pair here. So this still looks good. So what I really like about this pair is just how good the TA is on it. So we broke out of the range. We're forming a flag near the top of the range, right? So you can draw your resistance here. And we're looking for this downtrending resistance to break. Where did we bounce from, right? Exactly where we'd expect to bounce from. This decision block here at the top of the range. So we bounced perfectly from there, coming up now. So the 15-minute looked good earlier. Let's see. So we came back down to test that, test the downtrending momentum here. Forming like a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here. So that gives me good vibes for the uptrend. Again, I would just watch for this downtrend to break, and then also for, oh, we already got a structure break. No, because this is not a valid low. We're on the 12. Yeah, so on the 12, we already got a structure break here. And then we came back down to test the order block. We're bouncing. I like this. Yeah, I like this because what do we have here? We have one of our favorite patterns, right? We have our SFP followed by our break of structure. And this is a pattern that starts runs. So the last piece of the puzzle here that we need is we need to finish ranging, right? We need to break the downtrending momentum, initiate out of the range, mitigate, and continue. Which is what we're looking for on Bitcoin to gold. Because right now, what are we in? We're kind of in like this falling, descending channel, right? So we want to see that kind of, what we're doing right now is we're forming a consolidation range at the top of the channel. We want to break out, retest, and go to the upside. That would be what we'd be looking for. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, the daily still looks good. Looks like we came right up to premium at 35.06. Let's see. Did we actually touch that? No, we didn't touch that yet. Filled the gap. Came down the order block. Okay, nice. Okay, so how do we jump on this trend if the trend reverses here? It's all good, Mortimer. Good to see you, bro. So remember, what are we looking for? We're looking for the 50 to cross the 200, right? And then you're looking to buy underneath on the retest, right? So if this is going to turn into an uptrend, if you want to buy into strength, you want to see the price come up, swipe this liquidity, pull the 50 EMA up, and then you can buy underneath both if you didn't catch this low, right? You could have got long on the pump out of here when the trend ribbon turned blue, right? Or on any of these order block retests. But at this point, I would wait to get in on strength. But I do think this is nice bottoming structure. What would change my mind here? Losing the strong low, losing this VWAP. If we start flipping this VWAP into resistance, then I would expect that maybe we can come down to this order block here. 116.7. As long as we hold this VWAP, we can go up. We lose this, we come to 116.7. Which would be a retest of this downtrending momentum. That's what I see on Bitcoin. The swing trade is still valid for a move up to 121. I don't see anything that makes me think that this is going to like nuke or anything like that. In order for that to be the case, we would have to lose this VWAP and then start closing back underneath this downtrending momentum here, forming bearish structure, right? And be like, come back down. All right, if you guys have any altcoins that you want to look at, you can throw them in chat, and we can look at those in a minute. as Bitcoin is still ranging here. Let's look at Market Cipher here. So one thing that we do want to look at here, one second. I apologize for the low energy tonight. I just got back from the pool, so I'm a little drained. Let's see. So we had our green dot on the daily here. Looks like we're trying to put in a red dot now. But again, this day just opened, so I mean, if the price pushes up, this will change. Let's look at our 12-hour. Four hours posturing back to the upside. 3 hour posturing back to the upside. 2 hours looking to cross. 1 hour did cross. Let's look at our 30-minute. So we are testing this trend line from the lows. So if you just connect these two low pivots here, this is going to be your uptrending momentum, right? Or if you guys watch the one-on-one videos, right, this is going to be your I am wrong line, right? You break this, then you can be, like, if you're in a long from anywhere down here, as long as we're holding the uptrending momentum, it just means price is continuing the same buyer's pace from the lows. So I'd like to see a little bit of a trigger wave on the 30-minute. So if we come down and form another small wave here, could get a nice run there. Let's see. What's our 15-minute look like? Yeah, we got a nice, like if you just connect to these lows here, connect the highs. Nice little pinching momentum to the upside, right? So again, on the 15-minute, we also want to see the same thing that we're looking for on the 5-minute, right? We want to see this 50 EMA switch to support, pulled up, and cross back over this 200, and then you can look to get in on the retest if you didn't get in from the bounce off of the momentum here. Again, it's always good to have your momentum on your chart because, like for example here, right? As long as your momentum is holding, right, you don't need to close your trade or worry about like big retracements, right? And this red line here, if we go out on the daily, so this is going to be macro resistance, right? So this is actually just a ray. If you connect when we hit that 108 high to when we hit that 112 high, that's what this red dotted line is. And we've been playing with that red line for a while. If you notice, we've been trying to turn it into support this entire range, right? Let's look at our 12 hours a little more clear. Sorry about all the TA here. This is the chart that I didn't delete last stream. All right, so yeah, so we've been trying to flip this to support this whole range. We had this little dip below it. Now we're trying to flip it to support again. If we're able to hold that, I mean, that's weekly support. It's a very strong level. That's what we're kind of batting our head on right now. So you would want to watch for that major support resistance flip here as well. I like how these EMAs, notice how tight this is. This is coiling up, right? Like if we throw on, our Bollinger Bands here, I think I have this set to the 1 hour. 1 second. Okay, let's change this to chart. Okay, so this is what I want to show you guys. So whenever the Bollinger Bands get really tight, right? What does that lead to? It's coiling up, it leads to an explosive move, right? Bollinger Bands get really tight, explosive move. Oh, forgive me, guys. Yeah, really tight, explosive move, right? What's up, Max? Good to see you, brother. How you doing? So the fact that we're coiling up here is nice. It means that a big move is coming, right, in one direction or the other. And as long as we hold this trend line and that VWAP from the low, we would assume that that direction would be up, right? As long as we hold this VWAP. Let's look at some of our VWAP levels. So our previous daily VWAP is above us as well. We have a bullish leapfrog going on as well. Yeah, I think this looks good for upward price action. Validation would be like the loss of like 117.5. That takes you to the order block that we were talking about down here at 116.7. As long as you hold around 117.6, I see upside. This could be all the dip that we needed. Where did we dip down to? Let's see. So it's like a 382 retracement right now, which is what we would expect from an aggressive move up, right? Like this is really aggressive price action coming up from the lows. So we would expect a 382 retrace. Our golden pocket does align with our 4-hour order block, 116.7. So again, should we lose 117.5? It's a really nice long, if you get a structure breakdown here at 116.7, that would be a really nice, because that also aligns with our little decision block within the range here around 116.7. I'd be looking for that. But again, it's going to depend on if this resistance gets flipped or not. All right. Yeah, for sure, man. We can look at that. All right, let's do virtuals for Fecker. I saw you asking for that when I got in here. All right. So virtuals had a nice dip, it looks like. So virtuals came up and rejected off of the previous range where we would expect it to hit its head first. Did we tap that supply? No, we just tapped the previous range here. Okay. Rejected off the previous range. Let's see, did we break daily structure? We did. We broke daily structure here. In order to regain bullish daily market structure, it would have to break the highs at 23 cents. Looks like it came back up and rejected off the golden pocket. Really nice golden pocket rejection if you guys got short off that. That's really clean. So let's see where we might come to. So if this is going to be more of a correction and not a retracement, it front ran the golden pocket, so something like this, where we sweep that golden pocket into, or sweep that low into the golden pocket. There's a lot of resting liquidity orders here. If it did this, it would be similar to what Bitcoin did, right? Come down, front run the golden pocket, everybody gets long, break the momentum, come back down, and sweep into the golden pocket, sweep the lows. So you'd want to see it come down, hold the range deviation level. So you'd want to see it sweep down into the golden pocket, hold 108 on a daily close level, and then you could get into a really nice range deviation long on virtuals down here. Now this is the daily time frame, so this is more of like for the swing traders or those of y'all that are patient, setting your trap right. You would want to set an alert on these lows. And I'm actually going to set this with you guys. And then if it comes down here, you can get into a nice swing long on virtuals. Now, mitigating this range down here would be nice, but that, I don't know if we'll come all the way down there for now. But just since I don't know when the last time we did macro TA on this was, but if we happen to find ourselves later this year down at 84.66, that would be accumulation range mitigation. That would be a strong long as well. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit here. Oh, I see why you wanted me to look at this. Yeah. You're about to get a 4-hour bullish engulf, possibly. It's sitting right on a 4-hour support line. It's bouncing right off discount. I drew these wrong, but this should be 25% right here. It's bouncing off discount. I totally see why you want me to look at this. Let's zoom in. There might be an opportunity here. It's bouncing right off discount with a buy signal. Man, is this a range deviation play here? Wow. Okay. Great call out. Who was that? Fecker, nice. Nice catch there. Yeah, that's a perfect, it's a possible perfect range deviation setup. Do we have some structure? Ooh, you're getting structure right now. Okay, yeah, so I like this. I like this a lot. So if you break this level, if you break 147.37, right? Now, if you want to be picky, right, you can go with breaking 148.66, right? And then try to get in on a retrace. But the idea would be mitigating the high, stop loss, targeting premium of the range. That's a 2-to-1, so you may try to get in on a little bit of a pullback just to get a better RR. Like if you could get it, yeah, if you could get it here at the 75% level, 1.46, that would be a 3-to-1. Now, it may, oh wait, sorry, no, the premium of the range, which is, I was like, that doesn't make sense. 178.56. That would be your first target, right? It would be previous lows here. Previous lows would be your first target, like 155.26. But because on shitcoins you don't want to expect it to rotate the range, it can though. 1.7856 would be where I'd be looking to be like 75% out, and that would be, yeah, even if you got in up here, yeah, it's like a 6-to-1 trade. Great eye, Fecker. That's a really nice trade. So how you could have handled that on the 1 hour, right? And we teach this all the time in here. When you pull the range like this, right? So you pull your range deviation. When you pull the range like this, when this 1 hour candle closes here, you can get long, right? And if you're a little more picky, right, you can wait for the next hour was a bullish engulf, right? So it showed you strength. And then Cipher Matrix even gave you a nice buy signal there on the strength, right? But that's a 16-to-1 trade, 17-to-1 trade, right? That's why we love range deviations. And what's your cue to get out? You can put a stop loss under the candle in case there's like a nuke, because this is a crap coin, right? But your signal would be a 1 hour close underneath this level. But that's how you could have caught that trade. And then the trade that I just went over before, that would be the way that I'd hop on this trend. Yeah, I see what you mean. And then you have the macro levels down here. if we do come lower. But yeah, I like it. I think Virtual's in a great spot. Good find. Okay. SEI? Yeah, we can look at SEI. Yeah, shout out to you, Fegger. That was a really nice find. All right. SEI trying to print a 1 hour buy signal right now. This is, oh, we're in our demand zone. Yeah, this is kind of the area where we might expect a bounce here. Now, why would it be here? This is a great, this chart is great to teach on. So let's do that. So one thing that you can look for when you're trying to determine where a coin can find support is looking at where the last unmitigated range is, right? So it's about efficient price action, right? So when the price is going up, it comes back down to mitigate this range, right? Price goes up, it comes back down to mitigate this range, right? Price goes up, comes back down to mitigate this range, right? Goes up, comes back down to mitigate the order block, up, comes back down, right? Doesn't get a bounce from this demand area, right? Crap coins, what can you say, right? But then we come down, and this range here never got mitigated, right? So that's why it's getting a little bit of support in here, because there's a lot of resting orders and unmitigated demand. Same with like supply on the way up, right? This range here hadn't been back tested on the way down, comes back up, gets a rejection off that area. Okay. How low can this possibly go theoretically? It can go to 0. Yeah, I'll do some macro TA. Hold on. Let's zoom in a little bit. So you would have a 10-minute nice little bottoming structure here. I like this trade because we're in a demand zone, right? So if we get an SFP here and we break structure, I would set an alert. Yeah, you could buy all of it at 0. Yeah. Let's see. SEI will break out of demands. So if you get that break of structure, then you get some nice risk to reward. All of these lows in here are liquidity, or all of these highs in here are liquidity. Liquidity. So if we were to break this, we could get a rotation up. And then there's liquidity here. We could get a rotation up. First take profit would be up here. Yeah, so that's kind of like your shorter term play if you're looking for a scalp there. It also looks like this is like a 786 if I'm not mistaken here. It's a 75% retrace, okay. So we still have our golden pocket that we were looking for at 30 cents. Man, we drew that a while ago. Yeah, that happened a while ago. Okay. Man, we called this coin perfectly topping at 39 cents. We called that perfectly. I know, Joey, I know you sold your long at 39 cents. I bet you're really happy about that. Let's go. Heck yeah. Okay. Yes. Virtuals is very risky. It went straight up, straight down. But I would argue that most crab coins, at least that are outside of the top 10, are pretty risky in terms of leverage trading. Okay. The only, okay, so let's put our anchored VWAP on the bottom here. Yeah, the only two things that are kind of concerning are that we lost our uptrending momentum. Two candles closing outside of it. Excuse me. Okay, sorry. We lost our uptrending momentum here, so I'd like to see that reclaimed. Like the safer long is to kind of wait for this VWAP reclaim and the reclaim of the downtrending momentum. I do still like that 10-minute play, but just understand that it is a little bit more scalpy. I still like our play of picking up virtuals at 27 cents. Right, somewhere between this area here. This is like your extremely lucky, or sorry, not virtuals, SEI, extremely lucky zone. I would put an alert here. Virtuals, extremely lucky buy zone. Now, why is this a good zone to buy? It's why are we taking any trades, right? Risk to reward. All right, that's a 5 risk to reward back to the highs. Just holding structure will hold. You can use a range deviation as your stop loss, but it kind of messes up your risk. So maybe you're trying to enter lower, and you can use a range deviation to protect your stop. But yeah, because of risk to reward. So like 27 cents area. Similarly, I like a sweep on SEI, similar to what we were talking about on the first coin that we looked at. Kind of stop out everybody because this came short of its golden pocket as well. Come back down, stop out everybody into the golden pocket at 30.32. I'm starting to set alerts with you guys on the stream because I'm seeing these altcoin plays that we look at on stream, and I'm getting excited. Maybe I'll start trading altcoins again. So yeah, like a sweep that doesn't close below 29.03 on the 4 hour would be a nice little range deviation play on SEI. So those are the places I would have alerts. I would look at your 10-minute break of structure. Do I have an alert on that? Why is this line not straight? OCD there. Okay. Yeah, so your 10-minute break of structure for like your more local play, and then I would look down here at 30 cents. And if you're really lucky, I'd look down here at 27 cents. Ooh. Okay. I changed my mind. This is your lucky zone. Well, still really lucky. This is your really, really lucky zone down here at 21 cents. This is like your back up the truck level, right? Yeah, good job, Joey. You identified 19 cents as a strong level. That was a great job. Yeah, it's definitely a strong level. Okay, cool. But what do we know, right? What do we know? We know that, wait, why is this pulled like this? In theory, we know this. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, so we know that we have direction on SEI. It closed above the range deviation on the weekly. So whatever retraces here, we should expect. Yeah, it's probably going to be here. Yeah, I would watch that 27 cents level. I'm going to leave this little squiggly here, and we'll just start charting on another chart. We'll come back to it later in the year. But yeah, you would expect some sort of retrace to then continue on to your higher targets. You got 40, yep, already hit that. So you got your targets like 45 cents, 50 cents, and 55 cents. Cool. That's what I see on like the macro on SEI. All right. Can we look at Sol? Yeah, we can look at Sol. Oh, I like Sol. Let's take a look. All right, so we're finding a little bit of resistance on our spider lines here. Let's look at, where's my indicators go? Wow, look at that on the daily on Sol. I didn't even notice this. Sol bottomed right at the daily 200 EMA. Man, that would have been a time to enter 128 Sol. They did you dirty too. They came up and they stopped everyone out who entered above that candle. If you moved your stop to entry and then they shot it up, it's gnarly. Okay. Or no, it's the weekly 200 EMA. Sorry. Man, that's clean. That's really clean. Okay. Luna. Hey. Bitcoin dominance? Yeah, we can look at that too, Kelvin. Alright, let's zoom in here. Okay, I like Sol. I can tell already by looking at it. So we got a 1 hour break of structure here. Although, it kind of looks like a range deviation. Okay, so we got a little range deviation there, break of structure. Got a nice little sell signal on Cipher Matrix here. So I do like this. So notice how the 1 hour wicks into the reversal band here and then closes above like that. That's a nice, easy, high risk to reward trade, right? Back to the highs, resistance here is like a 2.66 to supply. And probably like a 4 risk to reward to liquidity. I like that. And we also have the last unmitigated demand here. We're bouncing from. Last thing we're missing is just some structure. Let's see if we can find structure on a smaller time frame. Ooh, it's okay. So all of this is liquidity. This has all been mitigated on the way down. I need to do a market structure stream. Throw a 1 in the chat if you guys be interested in like a 2 hour long market structure stream. I want to gauge the interest on that. Okay. Yeah, I would wait for structure. We are at a strong level, but we don't have structure yet. So similarly to the other coin that we looked at that had this same pattern, right? You have a range deviation on the 10-minute, SFP, right? That's another word for it. And then you'd be looking for 184.78 to break. Let's look at our support and resistance here on Sol. Oh, hey, would you looky there? We had this this charted. I guess we looked at Sol yesterday. Yeah, came down to our level, 182.08, getting a nice bounce out of there. Again, we do need a structure break though. Ooh, yeah, it breaks out retest. Yeah, I like Sol. Yeah, I mean, look at Sol loves support and resistance. It really does. Really does. Yeah, I think Sol's in a good spot. Sol's in a good spot. Let's look at our indicators here. Oh, the 2 hour. Nice. So it bounced right off the 2 hour 200 EMA. Came back up, hit the target at the 50. Nice buy signal on Cipher Matrix here. And for everyone who uses Cipher Matrix, remember what we look for, right? right? If we're in a strong uptrend, you're going to get a lot of sell signals, right? But the strongest signals are going to be the ones on the retraces with trend. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look, Sol on the 2 hours bouncing right off of the regression trend too. Right off of our level. Man, you guys are coming to me with gems. I am proud of you guys, dude. You came to me with, was it virtuals? I think it was virtuals that looked really good. Sol looks really good here. I think somebody was trading that. I think it was you, Andrew Cameron. I think you were trading that today. Yeah, it's definitely in a nice level. I like Sol. Now, we'd want to keep this 200 EMA as support. Let's see. Let's look at the 1 hour. Came down to our 4 hour order block the first time. Yeah, it's bouncing from a 4 hour. That's what I had charted, right? Yep, that's what I had charted. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I like it. That's what I see on Sol. Yeah, in where your strong lows are on Sol, your strong low is at 173.24. This is your 4 hour strong low. So if this play fails, which I mean, if it's going to fail, it's probably going to come up a little bit first, right? It's just because of all of the support that's hitting right now. But if it fails, another play that you could look for is an SFP of this low. You look for an SFP of 173.24. That would be inside of the reversal band on the 4 hour as well. But I mean, this 2 hour is beautiful. This is beautiful. Yeah, Daniel, nice. Value area low the range. Yeah, I would definitely have an alert at 173 then for Sol. That would be a nice SFP level for sure. Yeah, I see what you mean. You got a nice little cutoff in volume here and then a gap. Yeah, value area low. Let's see if we have any volumes. Yeah, look at the massive volume support that we're hitting here. Yeah, if we lose this level of volume, you're coming back down to here, which at that point you're probably sweeping the liquidity. So it's pretty much a make or break level here. Looks good though. And then if not, probably rotate to those 173 lows to SFP. That's what I see on Sol. All right, somebody mentioned Bitcoin dominance. Let's look at that. All right. Still trending down. It's at the weekly 50 EMA though, which has been strong support in the past. This was our last little alt season, right? And where did it stop at? Kind of right where it is right now, right? Just something to be aware of. I can see what you mean. That is a monthly sell signal. That is a monthly sell signal on Bitcoin dominance, losing the deviation band on the monthly. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. With a nice monthly bearish engulfing candle. Oh, I forgot about you. Oh, Brett. Sorry. Yeah. We'll look at Brett. If you want evidence for alt season, this is pretty strong. This is a monthly sell signal. Nice. Nice. Okay, we'll come back to this because I did skip over you, Max. My bad, man. Let's take a look. Brett. All right. Let's jump into the memes, bruh. Tell you what, if you're trading meme coins and you understand market structure, you just have such an advantage over everyone else. So you can just buy these coins when they retest like a weekly order block. Like, look at that. We caught a lot of these in Alex O's Discord. We caught like Chill Guy, Mudang, a lot of the Coinbase memes I was looking at the beginning of last alt run. We got some really nice entries on those. But yeah, like you can just buy this weekly order block on Brett and you're chilling. You bought it at 34 cents, you did 2x, got your initials out, chilling. All right. Let's see, let's look at our daily here. A little bit of like a head and shoulders posturing on the daily. We would, if it does come down, we would look for it to find some supports. $47, $46. Let's look at our 4-hour here. Yeah, it does look a little head and shoulders, bro. Let's look at... Okay, so I do like that it's underneath the 4-hour 200. It's at the bottom of the regression trend. Let's see. Is that a 1-hour order block? That is. So we're trying to bounce from our 1-hour order block here. You got in at 0.545. Okay. Remember, trading the bands is a little risky because it is trending, so it can't continue to trend. It seems to be breaking the deviation band right now. Let's look at 15-minute. So there is a lot of liquidity in here in terms of things to the upside. There is a lot of liquidity in all of these highs. So whenever it does turn around, it will be a sharp move up. Yeah, man, I mean, structure-wise, I don't really have anything positive to say about this besides that you're in an order block. It is the last unmitigated support. It may just be a little early. What I can tell you in terms of your risk in getting out is if this high doesn't change and you see Brett start closing like 5-minute candles below 53.29, you may want to, wait for some strength, but because that would be underneath the, you want to give it some room because shitcoins can sweep, but underneath the strong or the weak low. And in terms of, so if it does do something like that, right, sweeps this, then it comes back up, this would be where you break structure. Right now, this is where you break structure. So if it sweeps the low, your high would be 54.70. If it doesn't, then you're looking to flip structure at 55.45. Okay, thanks for all the ones in the chat, guys. I'll do that. Sometime this week, we're going to have a longer stream just on market structure concepts. It'll be a fun time. Okay. Yeah, that's what I see, man. You are at a nice level for a bounce. You're probably a little bit too early because you didn't have any structure breaks in here. You are at your daily 50 EMA, but the problem is that you bounced off the 50 to retest the 200 bearishly. So I mean, yeah, you're at a critical point, man. Like you would need this level to hold and then flip to 200. It could be a really nice swing trade. I just don't like this head and shoulders posturing right above the golden pocket. Like there's just a lot of reasons for it to come down and sweep this first, especially because meme coins do like to follow market structure pretty well, right? Like they like to come mitigate previous ranges. But that would be your invalidation that I can give you, Max, on like the lower time frame. I would just if that 5 minute structure breaks, then you're in a much better spot. You don't have to panic sell right now or anything. Just watch that. Yeah. Hopefully that helps you, man. Yeah, 61.48. Yeah, I mean, yeah, coming back up to the 200 EMA on the daily. Once these cross, you're gonna have a really nice entry, right? Like if you're able to, if it does bounce from the 50 and these cross, right, you get these big moves on these memes. Same with the death cross, right? You get death cross, big move down. Memes actually do follow like trading concepts pretty well. Every time I look at them, I'm like, man, I should trade some of these memes. Yeah, 30-minute blood diamond on Bitcoin. I mean, just be careful, man. Just be careful. Okay. Okay. Could it be? Could we really be about to go into alt season, guys? Sell signal on the monthly. The monthly is about to close in 3 days. That will be a confirmed sell signal on the monthly on Bitcoin dominance. That's pretty gnarly. On the short term, though, Bitcoin dominance did SFP this on the 12-hour. Came back down to support. Man, it isn't a sharp downtrend. Okay, so let's go over a bottoming structure, right? So whenever you're in a strong trending move, you guys know we don't touch it in the bands, right? Acting like if this was a coin, right? You look for the retest with the bullish trend ribbon and the retest of the reversal bands go, right? This is bottoming structure right here, right? Trend band's purple. It's inside the bands. We don't touch it unless you're like short, right? You don't close your short until here, right? Up we go, right? So if Bitcoin dominance is going to reverse here, we would look for the same thing, right? Trend ribbon turns blue, comes up, retest, go. That would be what we're looking for. If you want to take a screenshot of that, go ahead. But that would be like the bottoming structure that I would be looking for on Bitcoin dominance. Let's do like a market overview of these, of my market. I don't think we've ever looked at this on stream, to be honest with you. All right, so this is total market cap. You know, we had the bullish cross, comes underneath the 200, bounces up. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, total is a perfect example of why you don't short stuff in the bands, right? I mean, it can just go, right? But again, this is the monthly time frame. Let's see. Oh man, if we close a monthly candle above 4 trillion, it's go time. Okay. Let's go over to our daily here. No, keep that. Okay. Range deviation gets invalidated. Mitigate. Go. Oh wait, actually, it makes more sense if we pull it like this. No, it doesn't because it broke. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. Yeah, total looks good. Total 2. Man, it's not even a higher high yet. That's crazy. Just going to let you guys watch how I kind of build out a chart here, because I also need to just set these alerts. Man, that was TA from 2022. Wow, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. Okay. At least on this layout. Ooh. Wait. Did that close below? That did close below on Huygens. Did not close below on Huygens. Yeah, ideally we'd want to see USDT dominance break below this range deviation. This looks a little bearish here. A little bearish on USDT dominance. Oh man. Yeah. This looks a little bearish, not gonna lie. Now, we did get a death cross on USDT dominance, came back up above the 200 EMA, sold off, but could get a little bit of retracement here maybe to retest this uptrend bearishly. Now, this would be awesome, right? If we come up, reject, that'd be pretty awesome. Or if we fail here, right? If we fail here, that'd be awesome too. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert here. Okay. Man, Coinbase went back up to IPO highs. Isn't that nuts? If people bought Coinbase at the lows, 1,200%. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Gold breaking down would be great. You guys who use the Bitcoin gold chart know why. Gold breaking down would be great. And this is the weekly chart, and the MACD is way up here at 163, bearishly crossed. Let's see, let's zoom in. Ooh. Oof. Yeah. I can go back. Yeah. 4.14%. And if we break, yeah, if we get past this order block, I would say if we break the previous high here, we're probably coming up another like 3%. So that would not be very great, but you're kind of getting an inverse head and shoulders vibe here. Yeah, out of all the charts in crypto that I've looked at, this one is bearish for Bitcoin. All the other ones look good for Bitcoin, but I'm not gonna lie, this chart looks bearish for Bitcoin, so I'd like to see 4.14 broken. This is I'll always be real with you guys. This is the only thing that I see that's really bearish right now. This looks bearish. But that doesn't change the Bitcoin chart TA. It could be that altcoins are about to get a sell-off. It could be a majority of a lot of things. But all the TA that I said on the USD chart still and the gold chart still, it's still what I believe. But I'm just gonna tell you guys how it is. This is a inverse head and shoulders on USD dominance. Probably coming back up to test here. Well, as always, guys, you guys are the best. I really enjoy these streams. Thank you guys for stopping by and sharing time with me. And if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord pinned to the top of the chat. I switched it over to where people could apply to join, and it messed up the old links, I think. So if you're having trouble with the old links, just hit the link at the top of the chat. It's completely free. That's where you'll get intraday TA with me. Much love, Hunter. Have a good one, brother. And make sure you join the Discord. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell. We're here 5 days a week with TA. Tomorrow I'm going to a comedy show, so I'll probably do the stream a little bit earlier, so for all the folks overseas, you guys will be able to catch it. And as always, my name is Wave Cipher. Sorry, trade safe. Much love. Talk to you guys later.